Can your whole family actually move with you under the Panama Golden Visa? And more importantly, what happens if a child turns 25 during the process? Hello everyone, I'm Winter and welcome to Market Asia Processing Corner. So today we're going to break down one of the most common questions we receive regarding the Panama Qualified Investor Program. Who can legally be included as a dependent under the application? And more importantly, what are the actual rules behind it? In this video, we'll go through the dependency categories one by one, including spouse, children, parents, age limitations, financial dependency requirements, and some important restrictions that many applicants don't realize until very late in the process. We'll also explain the legal basis behind these rules under the Panama immigration regulations, including the Decree number 3 of 2008 and Executive Decree number 320 of 2008, so you can understand not only the practical side of the process but also the legal framework supporting it. So today, let's break this down in a very practical way, based on real processing experience, not just theory. Let's get started. Under the Panama Qualified Investor Program, the main applicant may include certain family members as dependents within the same residency application, subject to the eligibility and dependency requirements established under the Panama immigration regulations. So eligible family members generally include the legally married spouse, children under 18 years old, unmarried children between 18 and 25 years old who are financially dependent on the main applicant and enrolled as a full-time student in an accredited educational institution. And in certain cases, the parents of the main applicant. Talking about spouse, a legally married spouse may be included as a dependent under the application. So once approved, the spouse receives residency status connected to the principal investor and may legally reside in Panama under the same immigration framework. Talking about children under 18. So unmarried children under the age of 18 may generally be included as dependents without additional educational requirements, provided dependency can be demonstrated. So what about children between 18 and 25? So children above 18 years old may continue to qualify as dependents until the age of 25 if they, first, remain unmarried, second, are financially dependent on the main applicant, and third, are enrolled as a full-time student at an accredited educational institution. So what about children over 25 years old? So once a child exceeds the age of 25, they are no longer eligible as a dependent and must apply independently. Of course, you may ask me, what if my children just turned 25 before receiving the permanent residency? Can they still eligible? Keeping up with me as I will explain everything with you until the end of this video. Now, about children with disabilities. So for children with proven physical and mental disabilities, there is generally no strict age limitation, so they may continue to qualify as dependents for life, provided that the condition is properly supported by medical certification and the dependency relationship can be demonstrated. About parents of the main applicant. So parents of the main applicant may also qualify as dependents under the program, provided that financial dependency can be clearly demonstrated and there's no strict age requirement specifically imposed for this category. However, this is an important note. Parents-in-law are not eligible as dependents under the Panama Qualified Investor Program. So all included dependents mentioned receive residency status linked to the principal investor and may generally enjoy the same residency rights under the program, including the right to live in Panama, study, access to local system and services subject to the applicable laws and immigration compliance requirements. Okay, so now let's come back to the question. What happens to a dependent's residency status once they turn 25 years old under the Panama Qualified Investor Program? This is an area that creates a lot of confusion in practice. So basically, under the current Qualified Investor regulations, a child may generally qualify as a dependent if they are unmarried, financially dependent on the main applicant, and if they are over 18 years old, they shall be enrolled as a full-time student in an accredited educational institution. And here's how the age limitation is generally applied in practice. So dependents remain eligible until the day before they turn 25 years old. So we have the following scenarios. What happens if the child turns 25 while the application is still pending? So in many cases, if the application was properly submitted before the child reached 25 years old and all dependency requirements were satisfied at the time of submission, then Panama Immigration may still continue processing and approve the residency under the dependent category. So practically speaking, timing of submission is extremely important. Now, let's move to the next scenario. What happens after the permanent residency is already been approved and the resident card has been issued? So once permanent residency has already been granted, the child does not automatically lose residency status upon turning 26, finishing studies, or becoming financially independent. So in other words, the residency status does not automatically disappear after approval solely due to age progression. However, if the child is already 25 years old at the time the application is first submitted, the situation becomes very different. So in that case, they would generally no longer qualify as a dependent under the investor's application and would typically need to apply independently under another eligible immigration category in Panama. So overall, when dealing with dependent children close to the age threshold, proper timing and strategic planning of the application become extremely important during the processing stage. In today's episode, we've gone through the key practical and legal aspects of the family inclusion under the Panama Qualified Investor Program, including who may qualify as a dependent, the eligibility conditions applicable to each category, and what may happen once a dependent child reaches the age threshold under the program. I hope this video has helped answer some of the most common questions we receive from the applicants and partners during the processing journey. As always, every family structure and immigration situation is different. So if you would like a more detailed assessment of your case, or if you still have questions regarding the program, please feel free to contact American Asia for further support and guidance. This video is also part of our ongoing training series for American Asia's international partners around the world. We also welcome new strategic partners interested in collaborating with American and learning more about our investment and real estate opportunities in Panama, and of course other international markets. And don't forget to follow American Asia so you can stay updated with our upcoming episodes and immigration insight. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.